Alright, so I know a lot of persons have been reaching out to say, what's the process of getting your meat certified or at least stamped by the local health department. So when it comes to selling meat, of course, especially when it is that you're selling to local supermarkets, there's no backdoor deal where this is concerned. This is non-negotiable. All meat that is going to be sold to anybody for, like the general public for consumption. The meat has to be processed, it has to be certified at a local approved slaughterhouse. Now the slaughterhouse that I use is Page Slaughterhouse, that's located in Spanish Town. Top tier service, I highly recommend them. I have never been disappointed. Persons who I've recommended have never been disappointed, so I'm going to link their information here. Now how it is that you go about actually getting to that stage, of course, you have to be a registered farmer. That is one. After that process is complete, and you don't have to wait until you obtain your ID, by the way. That's one. And I'm going to link a video as to how it is that you obtain your RADA ID, and also after it is that you would have made the necessary payment to obtain that ID, you can go ahead and also purchase your RADA receipt book. Now that especially is a critical part. So of course, if it is that you're still awaiting your physical ID, of course you would keep your receipt as proof to say, hey, I'm in the process of applying for this ID, or I am in the process of renewal. So now that we have that information clarified, the RADA receipt book. So when it is that you're transporting the meat to the slaughterhouse or any animal or other farm produce, you need to have this receipt book properly written up. So I'm going to show you a video as to how it is that you write it up. So this is produced from the Jamaica Agricultural Society, and this is the product receipt. So of course, every receipt will automatically have a receipt number. So you don't need a carbon paper for this. So you have the main receipt. This is what you issue to your customers. And then you have the carbon copies basically are in here, the yellow slip and the pink slip. So of course, on your receipt, there are some critical information that you must pull out. Let's say, for example, you're selling 2 goats, right? Of course, you have your farmer registration number. This is where you'd fill out your farmer registration number, which is your ID number on your RADA ID. Received from. This line will state where it is that the animals are coming from, the total sum of what the animals cost, the address of the purchaser, the name of owner of produce. Of course, who owns the produce automatically will go there. So name of property on which produce was grown, and I'll write my farm location here, description of produce. So you'll describe how the animals look, what size, all of that, quantity of produce. So if it's 2 goats, 3 goats, 2 pound of pumpkin, whatever it is, you're selling, you automatically write the description there. The weight, if I'm selling 2 goats, I weigh the 2 goats and write the total weight, place of destination of produce. So of course, if it is that I'm selling a goat to, let's say, a supermarket, of course, your meat has to be stamped, so you will fill out the necessary information for the slaughterhouse in terms of where the meat is going, which should automatically be the place of destination of produce. You write that information in, the date, name of owner of the vehicle, whosoever it is that's going to be transporting this. I would normally fill this in last. If it is that I'm not certain who is going to carry it, I always fill this in last, license plate of the vehicle, as well as your signature. So that's basically it. So once it is that you'd have completed this receipt, you would take a picture of it and have it submitted to the slaughterhouse representative via text message, or you can actually carry the physical copy of the receipt there. Once it is that they would have made the necessary communication to the local police station that is in close proximity to the farm, after that they will let you know when it is that you need to come in with the animal. This is a procedure that normally starts early in the morning, so no late business unless otherwise indicated, because once it is that the animal arrives here, it will be slaughtered and the meat will be passed by a local health inspector. And the health inspection department is just like walking distance from the slaughterhouse, so the process is very quick. As I said, I've never had any complaints. Professional staff. So if it is that you're looking into selling meat to the local supermarkets, grocery shops, wherever it is, I recommend that this is the process that you take.